how many of you, show of hands, will leave tonight planning to support the vice president? 2 have made a final decision.
I think that there are still some, at least for me, some personal policy differences.
I guess a lot of the foreign policy is really my biggest concern.
But I really do have to vote for my...
She doesn't have to be flawless, but she has to give you something. I mean, she's like a true double threat. You know, she's terrible on her feet when she gets unexpected questions, and simultaneously, she can't even answer the expected questions. It's nothing, nothing, nothing. You'd think she'd be prepared to do this by now. You know, what's a mistake you've made? Nothing. What's a weakness you have? Nothing. What's the first law you want to pass? Nothing. What's a policy difference between you and Joe Biden? Nothing. Over and over and over. Empty, empty, empty. If she were an animal, she'd be a duck-billed platitude.
But look,
it's a total word
salad.
Specifically, where do you stand on the wall? And what does she do? She goes and shifts it right to Donald Trump. Immediately mentions him twice within the first 5 seconds. She still hasn't closed the deal. She still hasn't said to people exactly what she would do. In fact, what she should have done in the opening of that town hall is said, I want to tell you what I'm going to do in the first hour, in the first day, and in the first week. And it's going to take me 5 minutes. So, Anderson, you're going to have to sit tight. Here's what we're going to do by 1 p.m. She didn't do any of that. She hasn't told the public step by step what she...
As for last night, yet again, Trump not showing up, refused to be a part of a CNN debate, and clearly his staff has been saying he's exhausted, and the sad part about that is he's trying to be president of the United States, probably the toughest job in the world, and he's exhausted. I said last night what I mean, which is the American people are being presented with a very serious decision.
Ran for president back in 2019. That is the current vice president of the United States. That when faced with issues of the country, says she's still thinking about things. I mean, in any other job, you're asking us to hire you, and you don't know the answers to the questions.
She's 12 days away from a possible...
Yes, why are you 12 days out and you don't know how to fix the border? Why are you 12 days out and you still don't have an answer on how to lower the price of groceries? I mean, that makes zero sense. In any other job, it would be disqualifying.
And why are these jobs so important now to secure the border, to fix the grocery prices? Why weren't they over the last 3.5 years when she was saying the border is secure?
Listen, Kamala Harris participated in a one-person debate last night, and she lost. Okay, she was asked direct questions, and she provided very circular answers. My colleagues Van Jones and David Axelrod and others noted that, she provided word salad answers. And, Anderson would ask her specifically direct questions, and she didn't provide an answer to them. When asked, Anderson asked the best question all night. Why didn't you do this 4 years ago? Why haven't you been doing this? 10-minute answer, didn't answer the question. So what she did last night, I don't think helped her cause at all. I think people were looking for, how are you going to, you heard the one woman, how are you going to make my life better? That wasn't provided. Donald Trump bad is not going to get you to the White House. I hate to break it to you.
What happened at the debate night behind closed doors with him? It was a bad debate. People have bad debates. He is absolutely, but that's the reason why you're here, and he's not running for the top of the ticket.
Michael?
It's not a bad debate. I mean, a bad debate, you stay in the race, Jake. The president had to drop out of the race for a reason, and I think this does lend to some credibility issues for the vice president, particularly with some of those moderate-leaning Republicans. It's one thing to expect those individuals who lean to the right to vote for someone like Joe Biden. Joe Biden, I would even argue as a conservative, was typically a traditional centrist-leaning Democrat. I could see how some Republicans could justify that vote. You look at someone like a Kamala Harris, and I would argue Republicans have done a pretty effective job of painting the vice president as an uber progressive individual who's all of a sudden, as of late, attempting to change some of her previous ideological dispositions as it pertains to policy because she's running for the top of the...
Leave tonight planning to support the vice president. 2 have made a final decision. Now, you came in leaning that way?
Pretty much right in the middle.
Okay. Came in
leaning.
Leaning, and now you're decided.
Yes.
Okay. Now, 3 of you have not, so let me start with you first, Joe. Why?
I think there are still, first off, I certainly respect the vice president and the work that she is doing in her office. I think that there are still some, at least for me, some personal policy differences.
There are a lot of things that I connect with her as a woman. However, I am very big on details. I'm big on numbers. Another thing that is very much a turnoff, and this is with both candidates, stop trashing each other. We don't care. Stop trashing Trump. Trump, stop trashing the vice president. We don't care. The voters don't care.
And as of late, last couple of weeks, I've really started to see, like you said, this schoolyard bullying. And I think that's beneath her. She doesn't need to do that. She can run on her policy. She can run on her position. You don't need to stoop to his level. And I really think that's what